right. Well, every 10 years, the country undergoes what's called reapportionment. Based on the census, it's decided how those 435 members of the House are going to be apportioned or distributed throughout the country. California has 53 representatives, same as last 10 years ago. And so our maps are going to change or have changed, but the numbers have not changed. So we have 53 representatives, and in the past, the job has always been left up to the state legislature to redraw those maps. And they get to redraw the state legislature, which is composed of the Assembly and the Senate, and also Congress, congressional districts. Well, what was different about the last go-around was that we had a brand new system put into place, and that was the Citizens Redistricting Commission, and they were put in charge of drawing all three sets of maps. So they ended up drawing these maps, one of which is still being challenged in court, but all three are going to be in place for the 2012 elections. And it has really thrown a lot of races into question because several very long-standing Congress members have lost their districts. They've essentially been districted out of their homes. So we have people like David Dreyer, who is the very powerful chair of the Rules Committee, who no longer has a district and decided to retire, as well as our own Jerry Lewis, who really found himself in a predicament because he lost a lot of his constituency and was considering whether to run in a district that runs up and down the state and is composed of a lot of desert areas that he's never represented before. He also decided to retire. So for this region in Southern California, we're really looking at the loss of some very big voices, some substantial voices in Congress. And we also have some very competitive districts because District CD31, the one where we reside in, or University of Redlands is located in, has an open race. There's no incumbent. And we have the mayor of Redlands, Pete Aguilar, and other Democrats who have lined up against two Republicans, two very prominent Republicans. One's a state senator, and also a very prominent congressman. So we have Gary Miller and Bob Dutton, the state senator. And layered on top of that, we have some really interesting races shaping up for 2012 because we have a brand new system for elections, which is the top two primary election. So the top two vote getters from any party will move on to the general election. So it could be two Republicans, it could be two Democrats. And in this case, Pete Aguilar for the June primary, which is going to take place on June 5th, is sitting back a little bit and letting the two Republicans battle it out. So Bob Dutton and Gary Miller, who is not from this area, Bob Dutton is trying to wrest the sort of nomination or at least the election from Gary Miller, who has a lot more of sort of resources and record to run on because he's been in Congress for many years. The two of them are going to be going at it for very strongly until June 5th. And then whoever wins that Republican spot will probably be battling it out with Pete Aguilar as my guess. So a top Democrat and a top Republican will go on to the November general election.